Although Gabriella's trusty truck has seen her through many a journey, it has become a major source of inconvenience, draining her hard-earned savings each time it needs repair. Unbeknownst to her, this problem is being exacerbated by the actions of a local mechanic who is secretly sabotaging her truck for personal gain. But the wheels of fate begin to turn in an unexpected direction. One day, as Gabriella seeks refuge at the roadside diner, a stranger who turns out to be a Michelin-starred chef enters her life and offers something much more meaningful than food. Hello everyone, welcome to Stories to Heal. Today I am happy to share a new story with you. Don't forget to subscribe and watch to the end. Gabriella took a deep breath and stared at the hood of her truck, which was causing trouble once again. The low hissing sound accompanied by thin smoke coming from the radiator made her heart even heavier. The old truck had broken down again for the third time this month, always at the wrong time. Her important trip was delayed again, and her frustration grew. As a cattle truck driver, Gabriella knew all too well that her life depended on this vehicle. Her truck was the backbone of her business and was supposed to be reliable enough to keep her going on long, non-stop trips. But lately, it was spending more time in the shop, becoming more of a burden than a means of transportation. With mixed feelings, Gabriella looked across the street. In the dark of the night, the sign of a small restaurant called Du's Diner was brightly lit, giving off a warm glow that contrasted with her gloomy mood. The restaurant had been her last resort when her truck broke down. She had sat in one of the chairs there countless times, waiting for good news or simply to calm herself in the midst of her never-ending problems. She knew complaining wouldn't change anything, but the weariness was so real. After turning off the engine and locking her truck, Gabriella took another deep breath. She walked toward the restaurant with heavy steps, as if carrying the weight of her life. The door to the restaurant creaked as Gabriella pushed it open. The strong aroma of coffee and the rustling of spatulas from the kitchen greeted her. The warm, slightly worn atmosphere of the restaurant felt like a welcoming hug after a long journey. She headed straight for her favorite booth, a corner that offered privacy and where she often spent time planning her next trip or just thinking. "Another problem with the truck, Gab?" asked Annie, a waitress who had gotten to know Gabriella quite well. Annie was a middle-aged woman with brown hair that was always pulled back. She was one of the reasons Gabriella felt comfortable coming here. Gabriella nodded and rubbed her face with her hands. "As usual, I'm beginning to suspect that this truck really is cursed." Annie smiled sympathetically as she poured black coffee into Gabriella's cup. "House coffee, complimentary as always. But I suggest you order something to eat, too. You look really tired." Gabriella just nodded, too tired to argue. Annie left her for a moment and returned to the kitchen. Gabriella stared blankly out the window, watching her truck sitting helplessly in the parking lot. Meanwhile, the door to the restaurant opened again, and a man slowly walked in. The man, Daniel, looked like someone who had been on a long journey. His hair was a bit disheveled, and his clothes, though clean, clearly showed that he was not from around here. Daniel is a former Michelin-starred chef who left the glitz and glamour of high-end restaurants to seek peace in a simpler place. Daniel takes a seat near the bar and orders a black coffee from Annie. When he takes his first sip, he is surprised by the taste. The coffee has a different warmth, something he rarely finds in small restaurants like this. He likes its simplicity.
For Hamilton, building a strong relationship with his race engineer is a top priority. After years of working with Peter Bonington at Mercedes, the partnership has been integral to his success. While he can't take his Mercedes crew with him to Ferrari, Adami seems the perfect choice to guide Hamilton through the transition. Hamilton's adaptation process with Adami has also been fascinating to watch. In practice at Fiorano, the pair had an intense conversation before and after Hamilton took to the track. Good communication between driver and race engineer will be key to Ferrari's success next season. After the test, Hamilton described the experience as one of the most special moments of his career. "Driving a Ferrari for the first time is hard to put into words," he said. "The passion, the energy, the history, it's all there. The fans, the team, everyone has been so welcoming. It's something I'll never forget, and I can't wait to see what we can do together. Hamilton's emotional connection to Ferrari is evident in every interaction, from his time in the garage to his conversations with the Tifosi. For him, it's not just about winning races, it's about being part of a legacy that spans more than 7 decades. Hamilton's presence also brings a new spirit to the Ferrari staff. Some of them expressed their admiration for Hamilton's dedication to understanding every detail of the car. This shows that Ferrari is not only getting a great driver, but also a leader who can take this team to a higher level. The arrival of Lewis Hamilton at Ferrari has rekindled great hopes for this legendary team. As one of the most experienced and successful drivers in the history of Formula One, his presence brings new optimism, especially with his collaboration with Charles Leclerc, a talented young driver who has been Ferrari's mainstay. With the combination of Hamilton's experience and Leclerc's great potential, Ferrari now has one of the strongest driver lineups ever on the grid. But the road back to glory for Ferrari is not an easy one. The big challenge is how the team manages the internal dynamics between Hamilton and Leclerc. Until now, Leclerc has been known as Ferrari's golden boy, and his position as team leader has never been in doubt. The presence of Hamilton, with his status as a multiple world champion, can create new pressures. Will the two be able to synergize and work together to bring Ferrari back to the pinnacle of glory, or will their competitive nature actually trigger a dispute that has the potential to shake the harmony of the team? This question will be one of the key elements that will determine Ferrari's success in the coming season. In addition to the internal dynamics, Ferrari must also prepare for fierce competition on the track. Big teams like Red Bull, Mercedes, and McLaren continue to show their strength, making the hunt for the World Championship title increasingly difficult. With the technical regulations becoming more stringent and complex, Ferrari's ability to innovate and maximize the performance of their cars will be the biggest test of all. They must seize every opportunity to create superior technology while ensuring that their strategy works perfectly in every race. In the face of this great challenge, the hopes of Ferrari fans remain high. This team not only has a long and prestigious history in the world of racing, but also a strong determination to win again. The coming season will be the stage to see if Ferrari is really up to the challenges and expectations. Hamilton's first test at Fiorano is not only a moment for the history books, but also a turning point for Ferrari. For the Tifosi, it is a sign that their favorite team is ready to compete for the World Championship again. For Hamilton, it's a new challenge that could redefine his legacy. And for Formula One, it's the beginning of a story that promises drama, excitement, and perhaps a new era of Ferrari dominance. Can Hamilton be the catalyst Ferrari has been waiting for to regain its place at the top of F1? The partnership brings together one of the most iconic teams in the history of the sport with one of the most decorated drivers of all time. But will their combined strengths be enough to overcome the fierce competition from Red Bull, Mercedes, and McLaren? With such high expectations, this journey is not just about chasing the next world title. More than that, it is an attempt to redefine the limits that were previously considered impossible in the world of Formula One. From the implementation of innovative strategies to the incredible and unwavering support of the Tifosi, Ferrari has all the resources and power to create an impressive wave of success. The partnership between Hamilton and Ferrari has begun an extraordinary journey full of challenges and great opportunities. The story is just beginning, and the peak is yet to come. Get ready to witness one of the most exciting chapters in Formula One history. Let us know what you think in the comments section.